Don Bosco once said, "Whatever you do, think of the glory of God as your main goal." Everyone needs a dream, a vision to inspire them. For St. John Bosco, it all started with a dream which inspired him to seek solace in working for the welfare of the society and making it a better place, thriving on love and generosity for each other. Don Bosco conquered the battle on behalf of a multitude of poor, unruly, and neglected children and became their friend and guide. He knew that education was the key to helping the young. Good morning, respected fathers, dear teachers, and beloved Bostonians. With a deep sense of gratitude and warmth in my heart, I welcome you all to this auspicious occasion of the Feast of Don Bosco, celebrated every year in the cherished memory of St. John Bosco on the 31st of January, whose ideals and principles are engraved in the hearts of every Bostonian. As an educator, St. Don Bosco based the imparting of knowledge on the virtues of reason, religion, and kindness. He believed that he was to be reasonable in his demands with his students, inculcate a deep sense of love for truth, and be patient and kind with them. Thus began his remarkable journey in the service of his pupils. A powerful vision, strong will, and undeterred effort of St. John Bosco, the Salesians, and the noble educators has led our eminent institution to scale new heights. Don Bosco School Alaknanda proudly announces reaching another milestone in its journey, which is completion of 40 years of its inception. A 40-year celebration for any institution is a reflection of its core competence and success, especially an educational institution which molds the future of those who walk through its portal. On the Ruby Jubilee of our prestigious institution, I extend my heartiest felicitations and best wishes to respected Father Davis, Father Augustine, and Father David for being the guiding light, the management, my fellow educators, my dear students, and their ever-supporting parents for their modest contribution in the prosperity of this school.
Digs its deep roots in the second half of the 1800s, when the city underwent its first industrial revolution, and the mass exodus from the surrounding countryside saw entire farming families pour into the city in search of work in the factories. It was the century of the so-called Turin social saints, the century of Don Bosco. Bosco was born on the 16th of August 1815 in a small house lost among the hills of Asti in northern Italy. His vocation, already evident at just 9 years old, took him to the streets of Turin in search of young abandoned and exploited youngsters. Don Bosco is a great communicator who uses the media available to him at the time. He becomes a juggler, singer, tightrope walker and conjurer to encourage his boys to abandon the streets. He faces many difficulties, however, and only after a long period of time and after suffering numerous persecutions, the monarchical government who had initially put obstacles in his way began to realize the social value of his apostolate. His oratories came to life, centers of prayer and the constructive use of free time, and the Salesians were born, taking their name from Saint Francis of Sales, a saint venerated throughout the north of Italy.
On the evening of the 26th of January 1854, Rocchetti, Ottilia, Cagliero, Croa and I met in Don Bosco. From that evening on, the name of Salesians was given to those who took part in and would follow this code.
The answer of the first group of young people arrived after the personal experimentation of the reception received from Don Bosco. In 1841, the young priest Giovanni Bosco set up the first Sunday oratory, which for some years was located in various places and fields around Turin, because it was considered to be too noisy and vivacious. In 1846, under the Tettoia Pinardi, 2 rooms were rented so that a small school could be set up, and Mother Margherita arrived at Valdocco. The following year saw the welcoming of the first boy. From then on, more boys arrived, more mouths to feed, to educate and defend, with the first work contracts. At the same time, that which had begun with the dream of a 9-year-old boy animated each single future action to the benefit of young people. Things began to take shape with the aid of lay and religious benefactors who gathered around Don Bosco. Salesian co-workers began their work, sharing and offering concrete help and seeing to the material needs of the oratory. 1855 saw the birth at Mornese of the first group of young women who gathered around Mary Domenica Mazzarella, gave life to the Daughters of Mary Harbour Christians to take care of young girls. The oratory is the home of sanctity, with the arrival of young people like Domenico Savio, Francesco Besugo and Michele Magone, and a place of untiring work on behalf of Don Bosco and his Salesians. On December the 18th, 1859, the decision was made to found a congregation, having as our aim the mutual aid for sanctification, the promotion of the glory of God, and the salvation of souls, especially those who are in most need of instruction and education. Are a religious congregation who work mainly with young people, with a particular interest in those who, for reasons of economic, social and cultural poverty, do not have the possibility of building a solid foundation for their future. Don Bosco created his educational system on prevention, maintaining that a young person not only needs to be loved, but he must be aware that he is loved. The first Salesian printing presses are set up, the trade schools and professional training centres. The Valdocco area of Turin becomes the centre of the Salesian heart. In 1868, the Mary Harbour Christians Basilica is consecrated, and the energy that bursts forth from hundreds of enthusiastic youngsters begins to spread across the world. The healthy contagion sees at the beginning of 1875 the birth of the first Salesian house outside Italy at Nizza Marittima in France, with the departure of the first missionaries on the 11th of November of the same year. Then homes were set up in Spain, Brazil and throughout Europe and the world, long after Don Bosco's death on the 31st of January 1888. Don Bosco's work begins its long journey. The same Salesian spirit involves facing life with joy and optimism, without giving in to hopelessness when faced with difficulties. His educational methods, adaptable to religious and non-religious situations, has allowed the Salesian congregation to spread out in 128 countries and 5 continents. Don Bosco's heritage has collected together more than 30,000 Salesians, spread out throughout the world, who continue the work of this determined saint from Piedmont, who knew how to look at the world through the eyes of love and faith. The Salesian Salesian congregation, composed of lay workers and religious figures, is active in all fields of information, from publishing to radio, from newspapers to television, and has youth hostels and boarding schools for young people without families, as well as professional training centres and universities. The Salesian congregation is today the driving force behind the Salesian family, a reality which belongs to 25 lay groups, and female and male religious congregations that recognise Don Bosco as their father, and young people as their vocation. They, by highlighting the particular aspects of Don Bosco's charisma, give life to vast movements of people, lay, religious, Christian and non-Christian, who have always sustained the Salesian works to the benefit of young people in a silent, unstoppable and generous miracle.
Go out to the whole world and proclaim the good news to everyone. I have always done what I could. How much more remains to be done? My sons will see to the rest. Give me souls, take away the rest. Give yourself completely to God. Give yourself completely to God with all the reflections, thoughts, and physical energies.
A very good morning to you, dear students, teachers and parents. I wish to begin my address today by wishing you all a very happy feast of Saint Don Bosco. There is no saint who loved, cared and educated young people, especially the poorest and the most vulnerable among them, as Don Bosco did. That is why he is honored as a father, friend and educator of the young. Although he went to eternity 133 years ago, his teaching and example continue to inspire us. Celebrating his feast help us to reflect upon what Don Bosco did to empower young people and to give them life, and at the same time motivates us to know and imitate him. The societies and associations he founded are today carrying out the legacy he left behind. This year, our school, named after Don Bosco, is entering the 40th year of its foundation. Today, we are in fact inaugurating the Ruby Jubilee year of our school. I take this occasion to express our grateful appreciation for all that has happened in and through Don Bosco School, Alexander, during the past 40 years. The school has grown by leaps and bounds. Our students are flying high in every sphere, no matter where they are, either within the country or internationally. Everywhere, the Bostonians are making their alma mater proud. We have made marvelous strides of progress to become an excellent school, and yet we believe our best is yet to come. Our attitude before a life that has been blessed and sustained by the Almighty God, Blessed Mother and St. John Bosco is, quoting former UN Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld, is, for all that has been, thanks. For all that shall be, yes. I am glad that this year over 800 students participated in the Don Bosco Ruby Jubilee quiz held as part of the inauguration of the Ruby Jubilee celebrations of our school. My hearty congratulations to the winners and appreciation to all the organizers of the quiz in honor of Saint John Bosco. We have also done a number of renovations in the school as part of the Ruby Jubilee year. In fact, today we are blessing a lift in the school and our newly laid cricket practice pitch. We shall definitely have a fitting celebration of the Ruby Jubilee year once the COVID-19 situation is over and you are all able to come back to school. As we celebrate the Feast of St. John Bosco, we are privileged to celebrate the Silver Jubilee of the religious commitment of our Vice Rector, Administrator and Assistant Principal, Reverend Father Augustine Topo. 25 years ago, he made his profession as a Salesian of Don Bosco, dedicating his life for the service of God and young people in the Society of Don Bosco. We congratulate him for his selfless years of service that he rendered in different parts of our province. He joined our school on 20th June 2020. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, many of you may not have had the opportunity to meet him in person. However, ever since he arrived, he has put his heart and soul in carrying out the responsibilities entrusted to him. When you return to school, I am sure you will find a number of changes that have taken place in the campus thanks to his diligent work. Father Augustine is a very committed Salesian of Don Bosco, and like Don Bosco, he has a heart full of love and indefatigable energy to carry out the responsibilities given to him. We wish him many years of joyful life as a Salesian. Today we have yet another reason to be grateful. Today we are bidding adieu to Mrs. Rashma Kumar as she reaches her superannuation date on 3rd February 2021. Mrs. Rashma Kumar has been an integral part of our school since 1998. Her 23 years of service as a primary school teacher at Don Bosco School, Alexander, has been a remarkable saga of loving dedication to the institution and to her students. Her cheerful disposition, friendly and sensitive nature, efficient and organized approach to her work, and the dynamism with which she sought to form and shape the tender minds and personalities entrusted to her care is much appreciated by all of us. It is because of teachers like Rashma and others who have given their best to their students that our students have achieved what they have today, and the school has gained such a prestigious name. Dear Mrs. Rashma Kumar, on behalf of our school management, students, teachers and parents, I wish to thank you for the dedicated and enthusiastic work you have done here at Don Bosco School. We will miss you very much here at Don Bosco School, Alexander. However, we believe you deserve a happy retirement. I am sure now you will have more time to be with your husband Rajiv and your sons Nakul and Nitesh, who I am glad are also Bostonians. We wish you much joy in your new life. May God give you good health and keep you and your dear ones always under His loving protection. We assure you that you will always be in our hearts wherever you go. God be with you till we meet again. Let me also take this occasion to warmly welcome Mrs. Pinty Thomas, who will take the place of Madam Rashma Kumar and will also be the class teacher of class 4B. We wish Pinty Thomas many happy years of teaching at Don Bosco School, Alexander, her new second home. Before I conclude, I would like to communicate the news that I have been given a new appointment as the next provincial of the province of New Delhi by the 10th successor of Don Bosco, Reverend Father Angel Fernandez Artemi. I will be assuming this new responsibility on 8th February 2021. I feel great reluctance to leave Don Bosco Alexander as I was enjoying my role here as rector and principal. You have given me much love and cooperation, and although I may have had the shortest term as the principal of this school so far, I feel we have established bonds of affection that will last for years to come. I am now called to enlarge my heart as a father, friend, and educator, as did Don Bosco, to embrace everyone in our province of New Delhi, spread out in 12 states and 3 union territories. I request you all to keep me in your prayers, and you shall always have my affection and prayers. Until we find a suitable replacement for me, I shall continue to exercise the dual roles of being a provincial and principal of our school. However, the day-to-day responsibilities will be shared by the Vice Rector and Administrator for the Augustine Topo and the Vice Principal, Reverend Father David Wrighton. We have a very beautiful program prepared to mark the occasions I have mentioned. I thank all the teachers and students who have put together today's virtual celebration. As we begin our journey from Ruby Jubilee to Golden Jubilee of our school, let the coming decade be one in which we shall strive to set new benchmarks with renewed dedication and commitment. Truly, much has been achieved. However, much more remains to be done. Remember the motto of our school: evermore and better ever. Thank you.
You were set as a light to the nations, a light that shines for all the world, the hope that leads through the darkness, that tells of truth and happiness to be. Don Bosco, be our guide and father. Teach us the way of the Lord, the truth and light. Don Bosco, be our guide and father. Teach us the way of the Lord, the truth and light. To rejoice in the Lord, take joy in giving. With kindness and patience you did teach the hearts of the young your life and glory. May our lives be part of this story. Don Bosco, be our guide and father. Teach us the way of the Lord, the truth and light. Don Bosco, be our guide and father. Teach us the way of the Lord, the truth and light. Give me souls, take or else hurry echo, as we follow
history is always shaped by one person with a vision. A few, then more, and finally many people are inspired and a movement is born. Saint John Bosco was a young priest who dared to educate the abundant migrant boys of his times and founded the Salesian order. The Salesians are working in more than 128 countries of the world. Countless young men and women well established in society, living lives meaningful to themselves and to their fellow beings, offer ceaseless thanks to Saint Don Bosco for having saved them from lives of crime and misery. I thank God for choosing me to be a teacher of Don Bosco School Alaknanda and for experiencing the joy of being a Salesian cooperator. Like my predecessors, with prayer and courage in my heart, I have embraced Don Bosco's mission. Give me souls and take away the rest. So, dear students, I invite you all to dare to come closer to Don Bosco by knowing him through reading the autobiography of St. John Bosco. Our founder will lead you to dare to love and to make a commitment, to live a life of faith in God, to risk one's comfort, to serve others, and to carry forward the gigantic work for the less fortunate. Amidst the anxiety and uncertainty of the COVID pandemic and the revolution of technology, let us all ask Saint Don Bosco to bless us to be signs of hope and be strong pillars in our own families and for people around us. Thank you.
We are the children of Don Bosco. Let us jump and clap, sing and shout for
Bringing in cheer and zeal, we commemorate the superanimation of our ever charming and vivacious Rashma ma'am, who stepped in as a parent and stayed for the young. Dear Rashma ma'am, may success follow you wherever you go. In the halo of prosperity, may you always glow. No matter how big a crowd may be, a person like you always stands out. You put extra in extraordinary, and the flamboyance of your persona keeps the room buzzing with positivity and joy. We are fortunate to celebrate your big day with you today. Let us take a quick peek in the vibrant life of Rashma ma'am, all the memories that she created and all the love that she merited.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABCs, skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons at a time. Goodbye, Papa, please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family. You tried to teach me right from wrong. Too much wine and too much song, wonder how I got along. Goodbye, Papa, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, little children everywhere. When you see them, I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the wine and the sun, like the seasons, have all gone. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the wine and the sun, like the seasons, have all gone. Michelle, my little one, you gave me love and helped me find the sun. And every time that I was down, you would always come around and get my feet back on the ground. Goodbye, Michelle, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, with the flowers everywhere, I wish that we could both be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons at a time. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons
Goodbye to you, my dear friend. We've known each other since 1998 end. Together, we've held many activities, organized shows, and attended meets, played games and competed too, shared our views, and disagreed too. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, and the moments that we shared will be cherished and cared. Yoga, walks, completing your steps of the day, endless trips to the US of A are all yours now, my dear friend Rashna. Enjoy every bit of it. Stay fit, healthy, and happy. My best wishes. You will be missed a lot.
गुड मॉर्निंग फादर एंड माय डियर फ्रेंड्स। आज मैं फिर अपनी चित परिचित तुकबंदी के साथ आपके समक्ष हाजिर हूँ। चलिए आज हम बात करते हैं मस्ती और रौनक की पोटली हमारी अपनी रश्मा मैम की। बच्चों में बच्चा बन जाना, बच्चों में बच्चा बन जाना, जी जान से उन्हें पढ़ाना और उनके लिए कुछ भी कर जाना, ये सब इनको आता है। जब ये हूँ कक्षा में बच्चों संग, तब कोई नहीं इन्हें भाता है। सबको सबकी सच सच और खरी बताना, सबको सबकी सच सच और खरी बताना, न किसी की दिल से लगाना, न किसी से दिल लगाना, फिर भी सब संग इनका आदर प्रेम व मेल जोल का नाता है। होते हैं जब हम सब साथ, तो माहौल उत्सव सा बन जाता है। अब मैं और क्या बताऊं, इनके हैं क्या ही कहने। अब मैं और क्या बताऊं, इनके हैं क्या ही कहने। इनकी चुस्ती फुर्ती, तालियां और ठहाके ही हैं इनके गहने। ये जो अंदर हैं सो बाहर है, ये जो अंदर हैं सो बाहर है। ये एक ऐसा गुण है जो अब कम ही पाया जाता है। जिसमें हो ये कूट कूट कर वो रश्मा बन जाता है। इनका जीवन जीने का एक अलग ही सलीका है। इनका जीवन जीने का एक अलग ही सलीका है। कैसे रहना है खुश हर हाल में, यह सब हमने इनसे ही सीखा है। अब करते हैं दुआ ये हम सब, अब करते हैं दुआ ये हम सब। आप इसी तरह प्रसन्न व खिलखिलाती रहें हरदम। कभी ना छू पाए आपको जीवन में कोई भी गम। आप जहाँ कहीं भी रहें, आप जहाँ कहीं भी रहें, देश में या विदेश में, बरकरार रखना अपना बचपन, जीवित अपने अंदर हर हाल में। थैंक यू।
उड़े खुले आसमां में ख्वाबों के परिंदे,
उड़े दिल के जहां में ख्वाबों के परिंदे।
ओहो क्या पता जाएंगे कहाँ। खुले हैं जो पल करेंगे नजर, लगता है अब जागे हम। फिक्र जो थी पीछे रह गई, निकले हैं उनसे आगे हम।
हवा में बह रही है जिंदगी, ये हमसे कह रही है जिंदगी। ओहो अब तो जो भी हो सो। उड़े खुले आसमां में ख्वाबों के परिंदे,
उड़े दिल की जहां में ख्वाबों के परिंदे।
ओहो क्या पता जाएंगे कहाँ,
किसी ने छुआ तो ये हुआ, फिरते हैं महके महके हम, कोई है कहीं बात नहीं, जब है ऐसे बहके हम।
हुआ है ये कि दिल पिघल गए, बस एक पल में हम बदल गए। ओहो अब तो जो भी हो सो,
रोशनी मिली अब राह में है एक कशी सी बरसी, हर खुशी मिली अब जिंदगी पे है जिंदगी सी बरसी। अब जीना हमने सीखा है।
याद रहे कल आए थे वो पल जिसमें जादू ऐसा था, हम हो गए जैसे नहीं, वो पल जाने कैसा था। कहा ये दिल के जा उधर भी तू, जहाँ भी लेके जाए आरज़ू। ओहो अब तो
जो भी हो सब
जो भी हो सो हो, जो भी हो सो हो, जो भी हो सो हो।
Respected Father Davis, Father David, Father Augustine, Father Kuriakos, colleagues, parents, and dear students. Before I start reflecting on the last 2 decades I have spent at Don Bosco, I want to thank you all for organizing this heartwarming farewell celebration in these challenging times. Obviously, nothing would compare to the joy and excitement of being present in person with my students and colleagues, but I am happy to be able to speak with all of you before bidding adieu. It's been more than 20 years since I first joined this school in 1998 as a teacher for English and Social Sciences. As with the start of any new journey, I was nervous and excited. My sons, Nakul and Nitesh, both Bostonians at the time, were much more worried about their mother teaching at their school. As I look back on my time with all of you, I realize how special this journey has been for me. The years have been exciting, enriching, fraught with ups and downs, but most of all, fulfilling and joyful. Every single one of you has contributed in making this a special experience, and for that I would like to thank you. To my fellow teachers, I say we are lucky to be given the opportunity and responsibility to nurture the brightest minds of the future. With your support, I have tried to fulfill this responsibility with love and care. I will fondly remember our planning sessions, and who can forget our colorful and engaging WhatsApp chats. While the recent transition to online learning has certainly thrown us a curveball, we have handled it gracefully. This is a great example of living by our Bostonian motto, evermore and better ever. Coming to my dear students, both present and past. Working with you has been the greatest learning experience of my life, and here I thought I was supposed to be the teacher. Seriously, for every lesson I gave you, you gave me several back, and several laughs too. You have motivated me to be a better teacher and, more importantly, a better person every day. Your years in school will be among the most important years of your life. So, boys, make the most of this time. I look forward to following your journeys, both as Bostonians and beyond, and hope you will continue to stay in touch. With my retirement today, I will begin a new chapter of life, but will always remain a committed member of the Don Bosco community. I will be cheering you all from the sidelines. Thank you again for giving me some of my most cherished memories, valuable life lessons, and the magical 22 years. I wish you all the very best, and may God keep all of you in His graces and light. Stay safe and be well. Thank you.
Inspiration from Don Bosco. In the spring of 1980, a Salesian brother called Maurice Nicholson was summoned to create the environs for a Don Bosco in the capital city. Housed at the Don Bosco Technical Institute with a few tents on April 9, 1980, 26 teachers and 350 odd students stepped into an airy, tidy corridor for our first assembly. Excelsior translated into evermore and better ever, fashioned in the vision of our patron St. John Bosco, was our school motto as we began humbly but with vigor. Former head boy Samir Thomas extols our 40 years in this sonnet.
For 40 years. If 40 years could pass and see survive the name and mission of this august school, then surely they will last and further thrive if 40 years should serve to be a rule. And if in 40 years there has not been a single sign of ruin or decay, then surely it will still be known and seen when past will be its pupils here today. In times like these, when viruses abound and students and their teachers stay confined at home through online sight and online sound, the spirit of this school still stays defined. Don Bosco, evermore and better ever. Alaknanda, flawless, here forever.
Salesians who contributed. Over 4 decades, we graduated from tents to a magnificent school building designed by architect extraordinaire Brit Sharma and executed in precision by Brother Isaac. We moved to Alaknanda in 1984. Blessed by the brilliant Archbishop Angelo Fernandez, our principals in the following years each took a leaf out of the life of St. John Bosco to create an odyssey that blended learning and leaning on qualities of integrity and service for a new educative anthology built on the family spirit. Our students from all walks of life, students who matched and measured their own skills to build their own litany of legacies, either walked or cycled or came in different modes of transport to school. From exciting sports days to annual days to celebrating Independence Day to hushed, deeply stirring morning assemblies, we grew within the artistic signature of an orbit of excellence. If teachers were beacons of encouragement and perfection, Bostonians found their own islands of panache and passion. moving towards a productive future. Standing tall in a capital city that invites competitive advantage, Bostonians have rooted for their own travelogues of intensely crafted dictums of brilliance. Our building is our citadel. It is our oasis of splendor and strength. Our school anthem, composed by our own English teacher, refreshes the spirit of the eagle that soars. Past pupil and valedictorian Kartik Shukla creates his sonnet in the mirror of the past. Indeed, we are over the years a tapestry of many gifts, one spirit.
है नमन उनको जिन्होंने किया है मेरा श्रृंगार, पाल पोसकर किया जिन्होंने हर दम मेरा रूप निखार। बढ़ता ही गया चलता ही गया हर वर्ष नए रंगों के साथ। कितने सपने साकार हुए, कितनी कलियां फिर पुष्प बनी। उन कलियों और पुष्पों से पाता ही रहा मैं प्रेम अपार। गलियारे की किलकारियों में, मैदान की भागम भाग में मैं खुद भी हिस्सा लेता हूं और जी भर के जी लेता हूं। जब जब लाते हो पुरस्कार मेरा सम्मान बढ़ाते हो, मस्तक गर्व से भर जाता है, दिल गदगद हो जाता है। मैं फिर से नए कलेवर में तुम सबकी राहें तकता हूं। उन पदचापों को सुनने को मैं मन ही मन थिरकता हूं। सदा प्रयत्नरत रहूं मैं, बस इतनी सी अभिलाषा है, आने वाले कल में भी मैं तुम सबका भाग्य बनाऊंगा। हरदम साथ निभाऊंगा और छोड़कर कभी ना जाऊंगा।
Ever more and better ever, that's what we pray for each day. As we start with prayers of mornings, filled with goodness, hope and cheer, we thank the good Lord for the morning. His pleasure streams out to us here. We thank Him for all that we are learning of wondrous places far or near. Ever more and better ever, we pray for our alma mater, as she looks down on us and smiles, encouraging us as we strive higher and higher. Ever more and better ever, we pray for a well-loved banner and hope as our school days are ended, our motto with our lives may be blended. Ever more and better ever, that's what we pray for each day. As we start with prayers of mornings, filled with goodness, hope and cheer.